So good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for gathering for this great celebration. We are thrilled that you are here to spend this time with us. So my name is Eric McDonald. I have the privilege of serving as the Chief Operating Officer for United Way of the Bay Area. And we are here. This is our third consecutive Jobs Plus summer, and we have some great milestones to celebrate. That's where you say, yay. Well, first of all, we want to say thank you. Is this space awesome or what? So we really appreciate Autodesk opening up their home to us and allowing us to come and first see and appreciate. This is a space where they share their clients' work. And so we're in their gallery and museum. And so we are appreciative of that. And we appreciate that not only are they opening their home to us, but they were also this summer one of our great employers. And they employed 39 young people. So yay to Autodesk. So as many of you know, it is the mission of United Way to cut poverty in half by 2020, a big, daunting task. But one of the reasons we took on the challenge because we knew we had great partners like each one of you in this room. And while we're focused on basic needs and education and then jobs and workforce development, this particular program, Jobs Plus, is one of the cornerstones of that work. We know that if we can create and give opportunities for young people to both experience what the workplace is like, as well as see the relationship and connection between what they do in the classroom and what they want to do in the work world, that we will build a bridge for their lifelong success. And so we're really excited about this particular program. Now, with your support, each of you in this room, we've grown from a summer program to a year-round program. And year-round, we're engaging both young people in preparation as well as employers in terms of creating these kinds of opportunities. And we're excited to build on this great opportunity of success and really making the school-to-career connection real for all of our young people. We especially tonight want to say thank you to our Doorway partners. Those are our nonprofit partners who are the key, what the name suggests, doorways or portals for our young people to get the kind of preparation and training and support so that by the time they reach the employer's door, if you will, they are ready to be gainfully employed. And so we appreciate each one of them, and we'll name them a little later, but also do want to call out internships.com and After College, without whom, again, we would not be able to achieve this success. Believe it or not, since summer of 2012 when we launched, together we've created opportunities for over 18,000 young people. Yay. It's been so successful, lauded by the White House Council. Certainly during the Conference of Mayors, it is lifted up as one of the great examples in the country of building this youth workforce pipeline that we know is so critically important in our community. None of this possible without the amazing leadership of our mayor, who will be introduced in just a moment. But let me just quickly say thank you to the mayor, to the city team, and in particular, the leadership team that helps to kind of drive this overall initiative. And so that's Hydra Mendoza, who is the mayor's senior advisor to education. Yay. Maria Sue, who's the director of the Department of Children, Youth, and Families. Somewhere out there. There is a Todd Rufo, who is the Director of Office of Economic and Workforce Development. Please say yay for him. Also somewhere out there is Rhonda Simmons, who's the Director of Workforce Development, and Todd Myers, who's the Deputy Director of Workforce Development. Let's give it up for them. So with that, now it's my pleasure to introduce one of our board members at United Way. She's also the founder of Rocket Fuel Gives Back, and they are our sponsor for tonight's event. So please welcome Kiwoba Alaire.
Thank you so much, Eric. It is an absolute pleasure to be here with you and United Way, representing Rocket Fuel Gives Back as tonight's event sponsor. As a native San Franciscan, I have two favorite mayors. I was born and raised here, and I have to say the honor, he's already giggling. The Honorable Dianne Feinstein, fierce, amazing lady, and you can't forget Mr. Swagger, Mr. Dapper, Mr. Honorable Willie Brown. Oh my gosh, love him. But, and now I have to add you, the Honorable Ed Lee, to the list. I heard you on the news one day, about a month ago, saying that you hold yourself to a higher level of work ethic. And you know why you said that. And I'd like to say now, well done, sir, well done. You've taken this city, my hometown, to a higher level and held us, your corporate partners, all responsible for improving the human condition in San Francisco. So a little bit about us. The Rocket Fuel Gives Back program started as a small, we had a small grassroots start. We carpooled to homeless shelters in our own cars, bringing our own food and our own clothes. Now we have busloads of volunteers and caterers. We bring Santa Claus. We send children to high school in India. We run STEM programs and camps from here, Silicon Valley, Asia, and the Caribbean. At Rocket Fuel, we realize that our business is only as strong as our community. That's why outreach and philanthropy are intertwined in our company culture. With the support of our executives and our partners, Rocket Fuel is committed to giving back to the communities we live and work in, locally, nationally, and internationally. We believe that investing in our young people is one of the most important investments we can make in our community. That's why, as a native Bay Arean, I am especially proud to support the San Francisco Summer Jobs Program. Now, without further delay, it is my privilege, that's your turn, and my pleasure to introduce to you the fearless leader of the San Francisco Summer Jobs Program, our awesome Mr. Mayor Ed Lee.
Well, thank you, Kioba. I was just hoping to make it in your top 10. But I have to say that I'm in great company. And by the way, for those of you who don't know, I have also very strong personal affinities for those mayors. They schooled me very well. And in fact, you must know, and I think those of you who know my history of deciding to run for this great office had a lot to do with both mayors, and particularly Senator Feinstein was one that convinced me to actually run for the mayor of this great city. So if I'm doing anything well, you can blame her. And if I'm doing anything poorly, you can blame Willie. That's a joke. Willie, that's a joke. But anyway, Kioba, thank you very much for that introduction. Eric, thank you, and Ann Wilson at United Way for being such great architects with our departments, with our city, to work together on providing these jobs for our youth. Let me tell you, part of my job tonight is to appropriately thank all the different entities, the corporations that have been with us from the start and has grown with us, to the sponsors like tonight with Rocket Fuel and Autodesk being here. And you can literally, when you walk into this gallery, you can feel the innovation already with the examples that they have all over this wonderful, beautiful gallery. But also the corporations, the businesses that did the hiring, the community-based nonprofits that did a lot and continue to do a lot of training to help us reduce, if not eliminate, the barriers to employment for our youth, to identify where the gaps are, all of them. But before I do that, let me explain to you in the best way I can what this really means tonight, because tonight we're taking the opportunity to announce a milestone, but I didn't want to lose the story about our youth and what the city, what they mean to our city and what our city means to them with simply an announcement about a number. But this number grows for a reason. Back in 3 years ago, we started out with a pretty aggressive number of jobs that all of us wanted to create, and that was 5,000 jobs. And then later on it grew to 6,000. And then I got really bold and asked people to put together a 7,000 jobs. And as we went through the creation of this pipeline, we realized that as important as that number is, the more important thing was really what we were trying to do with these jobs. That it shouldn't be simply an announcement about how many summer jobs, but the creation of an ongoing pipeline for our youth, for their careers, not just their jobs, for their careers. And this is what we're trying to do in the city of San Francisco with all of our employers, but also with one of the greatest education institutions that we have in the country, our San Francisco Unified School District, to connect that all up for our youth. So when we talk to our youth about thinking about their future, it isn't just that summer job. You know, I had a summer job before. It was called CETA. And they didn't really think about my career, so they had me pounding mortar off bricks for a whole summer. And of course, I earned my way, you know, but both them and I got really in a hurry to try to get rid of each other, because as soon as the job ended, I wanted to go back to school. Pounding mortar off bricks wasn't fun, but we earned a living. So that was the contribution. CETA wasn't interested in keeping me around too long because they were trying to do trainees, and those were the old federal programs. Today in San Francisco, we're trying to give a foundation for people's lives to improve on an ongoing, sustained basis. And this is what we're trying to do with our youth. Youth who have 3 times the amount of challenges to get jobs in this city, who are faced with a growing economy that can be out of their touch if they aren't keeping up with their education, if they aren't doing the kinds of things for their skill sets, if they aren't making a personal long-term commitment. It's going to be well beyond our youth if they don't begin with agencies like United Way and MatchBridge and their community organizations, organizations like YCD and so many others that I'll recognize tonight, who not only work on the barriers, they work on real-life training. You know, I really use this opportunity to thank our youth for turning what is a personal commitment to something that I think now they see themselves growing in it. Many of you remember those very first days, looking down at your shoes. Hey man, I just want a job. You know, give me some help, I just want a job. To after you go through the training that we got, and the first day where we bring as many of our youth together to give you that training and that spark in your eye to give yourself confidence, put your resume on the internet, bring yourself out a little bit more so that you're holding your head up and saying, not only do I want a job, I got talent. What does your company need, and how can I fulfill your talent needs for your company? And as I walked through the evening in the doorway today, Ann gave me such a great, great story that I'm going to repeat it because it should be repeated over and over again. And that is 3 years ago, we had one of these MatchBridge youth start out in one of our first programs. And now she is just hired by American Eagle, one of the great retail companies in our city, to be their assistant manager of their store. You go in 3 years to be assistant manager, and she's not even here tonight to celebrate. She's working. And that's probably the greatest testimony, is that people don't have time to celebrate, but they're working, they're changing their lives. And so what we wanted to emphasize tonight was not just the milestone. And by the way, the milestone that I'm announcing tonight, how about 7,600 job opportunities that were accomplished? Not just 7,000, 7,600. But the real milestone is what we announced last year. We're turning this program into a year-round program with the help of our fantastic corporate sponsors and our community agencies and our city agencies. We want to make sure that what jobs you got this summer was just the start of your careers. That what we accomplished in this short 3 months of 7,600 job opportunities This is just the beginning. And while we celebrate, we take the opportunity to thank and celebrate all of those that have been with us from the start and did extraordinary things, both their money and their job opportunities. The real story begins now, 3 months into a year-around program where kids are changing their lives and they're utilizing all the opportunities we're providing them, and they turn around and become career specialists themselves, taking care of their families, growing up in this city to be successful individuals. That's what we wanted to create. That is the ultimate dream. That is the story that in our own boardrooms, whether it's with Starbucks or our hotel council or so many of the business community groups that are here tonight, that we talk about, that we want to give people opportunities, but we want them sustained. And we want youth to tell their own story a few years from now, as some of the youth like Temes and others who will continue testimonials tonight, what went through their lives, what got them their first jobs, how they can turn around in a few short years, like this lady at the American Eagle, to now hire other people and also be the talent identifier for their corporations. These are fantastic stories. They're true stories. They're life-changing stories. And they are stories about San Francisco. And that's what I love about being the mayor. These opportunities that we have to share with one another, because this is a great city. This is an international city. And when we host the U.S. Conference of Mayors here in San Francisco, June of next year, with 400 other mayors across the country, this is the program that I'm going to be bragging about. It's worth it. It's worth it. So we're no longer calling it, Eric, Hydra, we're no longer calling it Summer Youth Jobs. We're calling it Youth Jobs Plus in San Francisco. And it's with the permission of our corporate partners, our city departments, our nonprofit agencies that serve so well that we want to make this continued. And this is just 3 months. We got 9 more months to go in this whole year. We want to create more jobs. I want to thank those companies that saw fit that it wasn't just the summer jobs. In fact, there are a lot of companies here tonight that are going to make a lot more commitments for year-round jobs. And you know what? That's a little harder to do. It's actually harder to do than simply to announce how many summer jobs you're going to get. Because in year-round jobs, you got to really invest in the youth. You got to really know what's going on in their lives. You got to know how their schedules are going to be able to accommodate. You're going to accept a few hours a day, if not a few hours a week, rather than a full-time job applicant. These are challenges that our corporations are willing to have a discussion with us to make this a year-round program. And guess what? Problems don't just end when the summer ends. Challenges in people's lives continue. Sometimes in the winter months they get harsher. Sometimes around the holidays the incredible pressures on our families become harder to deal with. And that job opportunity, the ability to work your way forward, to have an employer with such flexibility in hiring and keeping you becomes incredibly more important. That's going to be our challenges. We want to connect even more with our school district in the challenge, because guess what? You complete that school and you keep going on your education, you're going to eventually be not just someone's employee. You actually can contribute an additional $1 million in your entire professional life if you graduate from college. And it begins with your commitment finishing public school in San Francisco, or private school for those that go to other schools. But for most of our kids, it's public schools. And we've got some of the best teachers and best administrators. And that's why I'm working with companies like Salesforce to provide you with that technology support when you're middle school kids. Because I can literally talk to a middle school kid today and say, not only are we going to track you, we're going to help you while you're in the middle school age. So when you get to high school, you got summer jobs. Then you got employers who are going to recognize your talent, and you can go into long-lasting jobs through college. We're going to help you prepare for college. We're going to provide you the skill sets to succeed, not just at City College or SF State, but at Berkeley and Stanford and all the other colleges we're getting our great youth into. You're going to be so successful in these things, and you're going to be a member of the $1 Million Club. The difference between the power earnings of someone that graduates with a college degree. And we're going to continue working to reduce, if not eliminate, those barriers that you know so well. I want to thank the parents and the family and the friends of our employees, our summer youth jobs, because you're an incredible part of a network. I need you to believe in your youth as much as we do. And I will continue saying this: the youth of San Francisco is my investment to the rest of the city. And as long as you take care of your part and we take care of our part, your investment, you being my investment, will continue to grow. And when you land that IPO in the future, I want you to come back and help somebody else out so that you can be a part of their life success. That's what we do. That's how we do it in San Francisco. Right. We support each other's success, and we come back to our communities and we lift somebody else up. That's what these companies are doing. So I am unabashed in recognizing major contributors like the City Community Foundation, Citibank. Is helping across the country in other cities, but they're helping in San Francisco big time. PG&E, JP Morgan Chase, they're going to be here, U.S. Conference of Mayors next year with all the other corporate sponsors, helping us not only brag, but bring examples out to the other mayors. This has got to be a movement across the country, just like what President Obama said. We got to start in every city, but we got to make this movement across the country. Bank of America, another great example of corporate citizenry. I got companies like Starbucks, Wells Fargo, BRE Properties, Prologis, Riverbed Enterprise Holdings, and Sunset Development Companies, just to name a few. Corporations that not only gave money, but they also provided job opportunities for our youth, exposed them to some tremendous things. Some of you here tonight that got these jobs, you know what I'm talking about when you're exposed to jobs that you didn't think you would ever get, walking through the front door without somebody helping you. And all I did was sit down with the CEOs of these major companies and in 1 minute just reminded them, who helped you get your first job? Easy question. Who helped you get your first job? And now I'm looking out, and I'm possibly looking at 100 CEOs of major companies in the future, and someone's going to ask you who helped you get your first job, and you're going to remember today that you get to help other people. I said a lot about the community-based agencies that have been there from the start. Working with United Way, with our Office of Economic Development, with our CD, our Children, Youth, and Family, our school district, all of these great community-based agencies like Lyric, like CYC, the Chinatown Youth Center, YCD, the Youth Community Development Center in the Bayview, Guardian Scholars, CHALK, OMI, Success Center, META, that's Mission Economic Development Agency, and Magic Zone. These are just some of the incredible community-based agencies that identify the youth with us, get them trained, but also get them the kind of support that you need, because things happen. Things always happen. Life is never about being consistent. Things happen in life, and you got to have community-based agencies to help you get through them. We have an incredible array of services in this city, and we fund these agencies to do the right thing, and they have done so. So all in all, you see the pockets of things forming for our youth in the city. Employers, incredible associations of them, training agencies and community agencies and city departments like our Public Utilities Commission, our Public Works, the incredible Rec and Park, all the different city agencies that Maria Sue has amassed together to assist in the public sector, and yet the private sector employers, and you have our school district working together. This is a puzzle that we have worked for 3 years to put together with United Way to represent our city's commitment to our investees. And all we need for you to do is make a success out of yourself. Can you do that?
Yes.
Yes, can we all do that? So if you can see a little bit of enthusiasm in me, it's because this program has made me want to be an even better mayor, because I got people to take care of, and these people respond and they get the jobs, they make a life out of themselves. They can be incredible success stories. Well, this pumps me up. It gets me going so that there is no youth in the entire city. I don't care if they're living in the worst public housing or in the best housing. Nothing can be such a challenge that we cannot overcome with assembling of the kind of collaboration that we have going on in the city. And this is the way I want to run the city. The city is committed to all of you. We just want you to be successful. Thank you to United Way and all of the corporate sponsors and the people that make this program successful. I want to say we're just beginning your lives. This is year-round now. I look forward to the thousands of other youth that are right now wondering who's going to help them out. You're going to turn around and help them. You're going to talk to them. You're going to tell them this works for you and it can work for them. And we can get more and more corporations, more and more talent. And ultimately, the employers will recognize they're no longer just providing youth a job. They're actually recruiting the talent that they need. Because in San Francisco, you are the talent that they ultimately want to recruit. Thank you and congratulations to everybody in this wonderful Youth Jobs Plus.